What do you think, Cinco? We're live. Today, kind of hang around and wait until got a few people on here. 0 people right now. Usually takes like, I think after 20 seconds, they send out a little thing that says I'm live. And then a few people show up. But it is bright and early here. Now we got a follower. Hello, whoever you are. I'm doing some groundwork with Cinco. Wanted to talk a little bit about his halter, but we'll wait a little bit until we got more people on here, because I always feel like if I start talking now, there's 4 people on here. Now there's 7 people. If I start talking now and then like the majority of the people jump in when I'm like halfway through explaining, then a lot of people like miss my whole spiel, or at least the important beginning part of my spiel. So I have to kind of kill time until the live stream has enough people on it. Right, Cinco? Doing some groundwork here. It's nice to just be able to pop a halter on and get the flag and check in on this stuff. And the more I do it, the more valuable I think it is. The more I see the crossover, the more I feel like I can make soft horses. Who just commented from Omaha, Nebraska? Alexa. Hi, Alexa. Hi, Holly. Dave's on here. SCSU 93. Good morning. Hi, whoever you are. Here from Wellington, but have to go shortly to leave for work. Barn. I'll watch the replay. Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, so I grew up in Colorado. I had some family in a tiny little town called Beamer, Nebraska. It's actually really great. And I'd go there, and they were farmers, basically. Good morning, Mary. Get to say hi to all these wonderful people. Jennifer from Humble, Texas. Hi, Jennifer. We had a client here from Austin, Texas. I always wanted to go to Austin. Haven't had the opportunity to yet. Okay, so now that we have 13 people on here, I'll talk about my halter. This halter was sent to me. I unfortunately don't remember who sent it or where to find it. If anybody knows where to find it, comment on here. If you're watching the replay, comment, let me know. It's an extremely unique halter. Got something in my throat. Because it operates a little bit like a cabezon, which I really like. Most halters they come straight down from here, and they connect without this thing in the middle. They connect to here. So, and there isn't this whole piece underneath, and then they have a knot here that ties everything together. Now this has like a little ring here, and that allows it to swing so that, let me see, can you see that? If I'm on the right side, it swings to the right side. Instead of turning the halter where it like pulls up into their eye and the bottom knot pulls the whole thing over, this thing just swings over. So now I have a little bit of a side pull, if you will. And then it can, as I go on the other side, it can pull over to the other side. So it's kind of an interesting deal. And then it ties underneath here. When you take it on and off, you don't have to untie it from here, although you can. I just untie it from here and slide it off and then put it back on. But it's really an interesting deal. And then the rope is really nice, this kind of yellowish rope. But that's a good way of kind of working on the flexion and teaching them to bend. And I find it really helpful. So, yeah, that's a little bit about the halter. Somebody watching the YouTube channel sent it to me, so that was cool to just get like basically a gift that I have used a lot through the years. And Yeah. Then so like checking the flag out with the flag, there's a few things I'm after here. Um, Let me start here. What we're trying to do is communicate with our horses in a way that they understand us. So one of the most basic ways that horses learn to understand the world, and specifically the dynamic world, the world of dominance and movement from other animals, is through space bubbles. What I mean by that is occupying space. So if he's eating his hay over there and I'm occupying space, or I'm a dominant animal, and I come towards him and say, move away, move away, he move away. He doesn't really know what I want, but that he yields away. That's like very basic work, but basic is good here. Basic is something that horses understand. Now, what's a lot less understood from horses in their natural environment is, look at this bird over there. Do you guys see that? Giant white bird just flew over there. It's in the tree right there. Okay, so the basic understanding of space, it's very natural to them. You know, they're from when they're growing up in the field with each other, and there's a dominant horse that pushes into them, and they yield over, and they leave space or take space. That's very natural to them. What's not as natural to them is like a leg aid or a rein feeling, or a halter pulling on them. So when I think about dressage, I want to jump back here a little bit. When I think about dressage, I think that dressage is wonderful and nearly like the structure of it is phenomenal, and it starts basic and it goes advanced, you know, training level up through the levels. But I do think there's a whole, like horsemanship is vast, incredibly vast. And I think that there's a whole world underneath dressage, before dressage. What happens before dressage in horsemanship that we need to try to understand as horsemen. In that world, a lot of it starts on the ground, and not in the ground in terms of like making them pee off on the ground, but on the ground in terms of educating them. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Haven't made it to Ontario yet. Maybe someday. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, if I can occupy space, then I can move the horse out of my space. So I say, you know, in my flag, I can use this a little bit. Can you move over? Can you move over? Good. There he moves over. Then I can get him stopped. Now let's add another boundary in here, which is a little more foreign. This next one is a little more foreign. But the first one establishes some degree of dominance, right? I move you over, and therefore you yield out of my space, and therefore I'm the dominant one. If I stepped into his space and he was like, this is my hay, get away from here, and kicked me, and I yielded out of his space, I would be the less dominant one. So in this instance, I am more the leader, more the dominant one. Not an abusive leader, not like I've given the warning signs, I've said, hey, please move over, please move over. He understands that, he yields over. Now, the next less common or more foreign component of that as we evolve is the lead rope, right? So if we take these two things into consideration, I can move him out of my space, and he can respect the lead rope. He can respect the boundaries of the lead rope. So he can respect my space bubble. He can respect the boundaries of the lead rope. Now we're tied between two interesting boundaries, okay? I can say, yield to my space, but don't leave with the lead rope. Don't entirely leave. Don't crowd me. The shoulders falls in. Good. Ooh, we got Nova Scotia on here. Hi, Allison. Someday I'll make it to Nova Scotia. Okay, so now those two boundaries. Can you respect my space bubble? And can you respect my lead rope? And when a horse is afraid, when they're amped up, those are the two major expectations I have of them. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay for Sink over here to be terrified and spooking and whatever. Hi, Debbie from Ontario, Canada. Lots of Canadians on here this morning. Yeah, so those boundaries are my expectation. And I can be quite firm on those boundaries because those are also about safety. If he rips the lead rope out of my hand and goes running around, he can get hurt. I can hurt my hand. And if he runs me over, I can get hurt too. But with those two understandings, we also begin to develop acceptance of the aids. And then it goes from there. It goes from there. I got something in my throat. Bear with me, guys. Bright and early here. 24 people on here. That's pretty good. What do you think, Cinco? 24 people watching it right now? Just imagine like 24 people in chairs sitting around here. We're giving a huge conference. Oh no, they're dropping off. 22 now. We stopped talking about horsemanship. Okay, so the next fascinating piece of this, and I think articulating with our language as clearly as we can is important. When I was bending horses, I used to use the word hollow, but hollow kind of has like a negative connotation to it. So I started using the word concave. When I bend a horse, I want them to be concave, be continuous through their top line, from their croup to their pole, they become concave. Bending. Now, if we have a space bubble, right, that space bubble is round. Or that's how I think of it in this scenario. And if, Saskatchewan, drinking coffee, planning out the horse playing for the day. Great, that's fun. Okay, so if my space bubble is concave, then I can use that to achieve bend. And this is the presence of, later on in dressage, what will become my inside aids. So I'm saying bend through this space bubble, right? If I reach with my flag, and I can say bend from your croup to your pole, bending. So if I push my space bubble into him, I can create bend. There he falls with the shoulder. And if he's really respectful of it. Now, if he leaves with the front end, then I don't have bend either. So I have to push my space bubble and push my energy, sometimes specifically the energy right at the shoulder or the bending point, or just behind where the girth area is, which will initiate my bend, much like later on my inside aids will, my bending aids, my inside leg specifically. And I'm also getting control here of the inside hind leg reaching under the body, looseness through the top line. And then there's another thing here that I'm getting access to the mind. So I'm getting them to yield to my space bubble, and without leaving or getting straight, they're bending towards me. So like if you're the horseman and I'm the horse and I'm gonna bend, my jaw's gonna disappear away and I'm gonna look at you. So I'm gonna bend to the right through my body. Now, if I put my jaw towards you, my mind leaves and I lose bend continuity through my body. So I have a kink in my neck. My mind goes outside and I brace against you. But with the groundwork, like this stuff, you can think of it as, oh, well, this is super basic. This is super like whatever. But with horsemanship, if we can refine the most basic things, if we can refine and build on the most basic things, then we can get to the more advanced things. The more particular we are, think of the best horsemen you've been around. Think of some, just put in your mind, some absolutely brilliant horsemen. I would almost guarantee that those horsemen, and you can comment down here if you believe this to be true, I would almost guarantee that they are particular. He agrees. That they are like aware of small details, sensitive to small changes, and particular about working on those little fine details in the basic components. Across the board, whether it's Western, whether it's reining, whether it's cutting, whether it's, they are particular about the training, particular about the small details that build later on, the basics that build into the bigger things. And I think the fundamental reason for that is if we can build on little things, little basic things, we can set our horse up for success as we go to push them to do something new or do something difficult. Okay, continuing on the groundwork thing. Little thing here. Straightness is a place of self-preservation for the horse. Bend is a place of vulnerability. If a horse is in a mode of self-preservation, the head will be up, right? Prevent any predator from getting at the neck. The body will be straight. So either they're gonna face you to fight you like a boxer, or they're gonna turn and run. But they're not gonna open the side of their body up. Like if you're watching a boxing match, they're gonna turn and fight you and be straight. If they open the side of their body, that's vulnerable. You know, they can get attacked. So from the self-preservation side of things, bend is a vulnerable place for the horse. Now, bend is also a place where horses relax. Next time your horse is sleeping on the ground, not laying flat on the ground, but sleeping, look at how much bend is through the top line. Like when they're like curled up, like a, I don't know what you call it, like laying on the ground, they're just curled up like that. There's just so much bend through the whole top line. And I always think like, that's a vulnerable place for them to be. I think, so bend is a vulnerable place, and it's a vulnerable place where they feel vulnerable to us. Straightness is a place of self-preservation. The head being up is a place of self-preservation. Their fight or flight modes are all gonna occur in a place of straightness, in a place of bracing the frame up. Like there's no reason for them. He's kind of in front of me here. I want to back him off a little bit. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, okay. You're still in front of me. Try to draw the mind back to me. He's a little lost right now. I always try to be aware of the mind, right? If I'm a teacher in a classroom, number one thing I need is the student's attention. Speaking of which, I got 40 people on live here and I'm paying attention over here. Poor Cinco. Um, okay. Yeah, so the bend, right? Also, another thing with bend, because from the beginning of my career, I was 12 years old or whatever, and I went to natural horsemanship. What we worked on is bend. Why do we work so much on bend? Why do we work so much on bend and dressage? There, I'm enforcing my space bubble. I'm saying, oh, he encroached on my space bubble. I'm gonna use my energy to get him out of it, just so he becomes aware of where that is. Got the sun kind of popping up here through the trees. Okay, sorry, I keep getting distracted, but I like pointing those little things out. Bend, why do we work on bend? And, I started with like a brilliant, he's a cowboy, but it wasn't really a cowboy approach. It was really a soft, like very good horsemanship approach. A guy by the name of Larry Fleming. We worked on bend on the ground, bend under saddle. Why work on bend? Bend is a wonderful place to teach acceptance to the aids. This over here, this is Juan. He takes the horses in and out to the walker, and then they go on the walker for a little bit. It's a wonderful place to teach acceptance to the aids, to teach them to yield, and it's a powerful place as a horseman. If a horse is gonna pull against you, or brace, or be strong in their body, they're gonna do it in a place of straightness. They have an advantage there, right? If they're gonna pull something, if they're gonna fight something, they're gonna be straight. A place of weakness for them is bend. Now, I don't wanna take advantage of that, but he's a huge animal and I'm just a little person. So how do we teach him that that he needs to be respectful of us, not in like a negative punishing way, but just in an acceptance way. And so we use bend. And it's important that we don't just use false bend, that we manipulate the frame or show him how to yield to the aids. So a lot of that, like just, can we take the lead rope? And we just have the inside rein here. But can we teach him, take the inside rein, bend, give, bend, ask him, but wait, give. When he gives to me, I give to him, I thank him. Can you bend here? There, can you bend here? Can you bend here? Good. Wait for him to get stopped here. But not, I could do more physically, waiting, teaching him to have a conversation with me in the connection. Bending, letting go, bending, letting go, waiting. Everything has to be done with feel. Ask a question, wait for an answer. There's the question, wait for the answer. Wait, give. Wait, give. There, that's all I need. Just a communication. Position the frame, don't hold it. Ask them to bend, don't enforce it. Don't manipulate it. Those things are really important, especially with the inside rein, right? So as much as I've struggled to explain how in natural horsemanship world we have so much working from the inside rein, we talk about the inside rein a lot. We do one rein stops from the inside rein. We yield the haunches from the one inside rein. And then you get to dressage and everybody's like, don't touch the inside rein. As much as the human language is that, the natural horsemanship world and the dressage world, in my mind, are the same. The excellent dressage riders that I've been around that talk about the inside rein and the use of the inside rein are use the inside rein to position, but don't pull it, right? And the Western people the same. Don't just pull the head around here. Wait, position, give. Right? I'm not pulling on the inside rein there. I'm positioning from the inside rein. I'm giving a position of the bend. And also then bend from the inside aids, from the driving aids. Can you yield over sideways here? Can you yield over sideways? Good. Then bending through the body. Good. Anyway, a very basic kind of groundwork theory session this morning. But yeah, I think if we can teach our horses to bend and yield and respond, and also make that a little bit more. Hey, can you yield sideways a little more? Get a little louder. If he spooks at something, can he yield sideways? And then be responsive to the hand here. I need those things under saddle too. I need to be able to say, can you yield over a little quickly? Can you bend through the body? Yield over. Good. Bend through the body. Very good. And then, like I said a little earlier, the mind. Always be hyper aware of where the mind is. Always be sensitive to that. Not that you have to be a control freak. He can look around. But you do have to be able to draw it back to you. You know? And you do have to be aware of where it's going. And you do have to be aware that you can communicate with him and he can communicate back with you. You have to be demanding and supportive. Yeah, and then build basic to advanced. Over time, we get into more things. 31 people on here. Now we're getting up there. All right, I'll read through some of these comments. Let's see. Finally bought my first horse this week. Congratulations. I don't know your name. Tack fitting today and planning. Wait, I lost it. Planning to play as well. That's super cool. What an exciting time. First horse I got was a horse that my sister had, and then I got that one. His name was Achilles. He had a white sock on his left hind. For those of you that know the story of Achilles, he was always vulnerable to attack. He was a Greek god or something like that. I don't know. Always vulnerable to attack from the left hind. And that was the only place you could kill him, the left heel. And Achilles, the horse, was always lame on the left hind. The one white sock that, but he was a wonderful horse. He took care of me as a kid, 11, 12 years old. Yeah, first horse, congratulations. That is awesome. Let's see, Christina Addard. So right here, as he looks away to the outside, would you bend head a little to inside and push hindquarters outwards? Yeah, if they're looking to the outside, if you're trying to get bend and they're looking to the outside, a few things there. You can be patient and wait to draw the mind back inside. If you just pull the frame, sometimes you'll just pull the shoulders, pull the brace. So you want to kind of position the hand, say, hey, can you flex inside again? But you don't want to pull with that rein. You're going to set the rein and then drive from the inside aids until they bend again. It's very hard to show this with just one hand, but okay, so if he's too straight, then try to go, can I drive a little more? Cause some activity that draws the mind back to me, and then the haunch steps away. It's difficult, but you have to be in the mode of set it up and let it happen. You can't be in the mode of horse manipulation, of just get it done quickly. You have to have patience, and you have to be explaining, this is an aid. How do you respond to the aid? Ah, thank you. That's how you respond. This is an aid. This is how you respond. Dave, thank you for being on here. Sorry, have to run to the fireplace store. My wife is making me do it like a good man. Happy wife, happy life. Love everything you do. Very cool. It's cool to see all these guys on here watching around the world. YouTube is so great that way that it's like, it's global. It's far more global than anything. Like I have Instagram, Facebook, but there is something so global about YouTube that I really enjoy. And so global about dressage in general that like you can be across the world, and the philosophy of teaching these horses things, it's a lifelong addiction, that's for sure. Yeah, trying to think what other things to share. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot with the groundwork, with the bending. You're teaching them to follow a feel, and to learn a language of pressure and relief. And that language, I think, is one of the most important things to try to preserve with the horses. The young horses learn this language and know this language from how they grow up. Pressure, search, find an answer, relief, do that answer. As they get older, they sometimes get more set in their ways, but the horses are always very forgiving and willing to adjust. Back them up a little bit here. Take my hand, pinky upside down, so my hand, thumb down. Wrap that around the knot in the halter. You can do this in a normal rope halter too. This is just my fancy halter. Little feel, rocking back and forth. Two things I'm after. Can he go backwards? Can I position the frame? So can I get to the feet? Feet move backwards. Then can I get him to give in the frame? There you go. Good boy. I get him to drop the frame down. What else this morning? The reinback, like there, if you read the book, I always say that, like, I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but if you read the book on dressage, the reinback is the very first movement that we teach collection in. So use it. Like the reinback is there for a reason. It's there in the theory, it's there in the tests to start teaching dressage. So use it to teach the horses to come, to put the haunches under, to come together in the body. You'll find little braces there. You'll find stuck spots, and work through it until you get a good feel, the ability to come backwards, fix those little braces, get them supple. Good. Get the feet free. That's a good one. How long ago did you switch from riding Western to English? It's been a long time now. 11, 12 years ago. And I went from Western. My sister was around dressage for a little bit. She had a little exposure to it, and then pretty quick I got to Steffen's barn, and then was at Steffen's for a long time. Hello from Maryland. I'm 56, just started to learn to ride and do dressage. Enjoy watching you too. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing to learn, and it's something that if you are open to learning, want to learn, you can get in there. What is the best entry-level book for horse and rider dressage training? Great question. I don't know about dressage, but there are some books. There's a Ray Hunt book and a Tom Dorrance book that are brilliant on the philosophy of how horses think. True Unity is one of those, and I think communication through feel or true communication through feel, something like that. is Ray's book. Ray's book is, you know, they're cowboys. It's not like eloquently written or anything like that, but holy cow, if you read those books, and Ray's book is like this little book. I have it at my house. I read it when I was a kid. I read it sometimes now. And it is just like packed with nuggets of wisdom, of a philosophy of understanding how to think about teaching horses something. I'm curious how you control the direction, put the horse walking circle around you, and how you have the aid to change direction. That's like, okay, so Groundwork 101 here. When I'm here facing the horse, I have a driving aid and a supporting aid. I have to trade my phone off. The driving aid, sorry. A leading hand and a supporting hand, or a leading hand and a driving hand. The leading hand is gonna direct them. So if I go here, and I say, go that way, I'm gonna back him up here. He's just crowding me a little bit. Force my space bubble. No, don't turn away. Good. He can stand here and wait. There. He can stand there and wait. My leading hand says, go here. And my driving hand, this one over here, says, go there, either with the end of the lead rope or with the flag. And that sends the energy. So I direct the energy. I say, go there. Like I can point in that direction, but it's less that. And then you have to use, really important, you have to use your energy to direct them. So if I say go there, but then I step away this way, I'm gonna draw him towards me. And that's gonna be a lot more submissive position. Now, certain horses are really passive and you wanna draw them towards you. I'm doing my live. There's Jess over there. So I direct and then I drive. How you use your energy, like horses are masters at reading body language, at yielding to space, at understanding how other horses are presenting. Oh. Bump him here a little bit, just so he learns. There, good. This is my space bubble. They're masters at reading that language from other horses, so the more that I can teach them using my body language, my stepping towards them in my energy, right? If I'm saying move, 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 that means something. If I'm walking up to him with my hand like this, hey, how are you? Then that hand doesn't mean something. They can read all of that. They're experts at reading that. So you walking up to him to say, give him a snuggle, has a very different body language than, hey, can you move? And you have to get to be an expert at articulating that with clarity. One of the hardest things on horses is being unclear, being inconsistent. So, yeah. I hope that's helpful, or I hope something can, you guys can get something out of that. Little theory on groundwork. People, I get every clinic, I get the question, when can I start in-hand work with my horse? Today. You can start it today. If you are halter breaking a horse for the first time, putting a halter on him, you're starting your in-hand work. Think less about it as piaffe passage work, think more about it as groundwork. And if you do the groundwork really properly and you get the horse on the aids and you get the basics, the transition into a piaffe, even a half step, where they do that, should be no stress and should be not that hard on him. Now, the more, if you're teaching the piaffe on the spot, super active, that's more physically demanding of them. But it's the stress that makes them hard, that's hard on them. So if you can do it in a way that doesn't stress them, go for it. If you can do it in a way, if you can teach the half steps in a way that doesn't stress them, and all they're doing is jogging in place a little bit with no one on their back, you can teach that at 4 years old, in my opinion. People will disagree with me, but I think it's fine to teach at that age, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's important to remember, as so many things are in horsemanship. All right, guys, 38 people, 11 likes. Leave a like if you like this video. If you like these topics, if you like these little kind of conversational things that I do here, kind of train of thought, like jabbering on about, oh, now the likes are coming up, man. Now we got 17 likes. All I had to do was ask. 19 likes. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Would you like to try polo on a horse? I've never tried polo on a horse. Yes, I would absolutely love it. Judy Farmer from the UK. Calm, clear, consistent communication is my mantra. Yeah, absolutely. 23 likes. Wow, you guys came in there good with the likes. Nice. All right, good morning, everyone. Good evening. Let's see, Christina, I agree with you. My 4-year-old now does it in the barn without me asking, just to see if she can get a treat. We made it a game rather than a demand. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yeah, I mean, fighting with the horses, and I have tried, and many other people have tried, and we all probably try at some point in our career because we want to get something done. But fighting does not work. It's not productive. That's the number one thing. It's not productive for high performance. It's just simply not productive. So any way you can, whether it's building from basic to advanced or trying a different method, fighting is unproductive. And the horses don't enjoy it, and you don't enjoy it. And so, yeah. Oh, 26 likes. You guys came in there good with the like button. 27. That's cool. The way the algorithm works is the more likes you get, the more people, this gets pushed out to people around the world and then, shared around. I don't really know what to do with my YouTube channel. I mean, I've been doing a lot of these lives because I can do them now and there's no post-production. I just film this and then it's up. But I would like to try to work on my YouTube channel. It's just been busy. We have a full barn here. Then we have clients and I've been teaching clinics. I went to Victoria. So bear with me. I'll get some videos going again shortly. It's the weekend though. I have clients today. So I will show those horses today and then we'll see. All right, signing off, guys. Say bye to Cinco. Good horse. If you missed, watch the beginning of this for the little thing on this halter. That's pretty fancy little thing. All right, we'll see you guys.